Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing channel. My name is Jikara, and I'm a spiritual healing facilitator. And I am so excited that you're here today. Today, you know that I'm here live every Thursday, bringing in really juicy conversations, amazing people to come and talk about different practices, different things, so that you can learn and be exposed to different modalities and different people. And so, before we get started with the conversation today, we're going to be talking about remote viewing. And I have an amazing soul that is coming in to share so much juicy information. And she's deep into remote viewing, and I'm so excited to share her in. But before we get started, I want to take a moment to drop into gratitude for all of you who are supporting this channel. If you are subscribed already, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to this channel and share and like this video. If you feel like this brings value to you and you feel like it might be valuable for someone after you watch this video, please do share. It does support the channel. We need you to support. And so I also want to take a moment to thank all of the people who are part of the Cosmic Light Activation membership and community. Thank you so much. Those of you who are part of the membership, you're supporting this channel. You're the ones that are making these, allowing these videos to be made and to stay free for everyone to see. So thank you so much. It means so much to me that you're part of this. And if you want to maybe take a little step forward from liking or sharing this video and you want to support this channel, I want to invite you to join the Cosmic Light Activation membership. I'm so elated because I've been working so hard to get my my portal going for you guys to actually be able to join and receive all of the Akashic readings and clearings that we've done for the past couple of months, for the past 6 months. And so once you join, you'll have access immediately to everything, and then you will also have access to the new calls as they come through. So you will be able to attend the live Akashic clearings that we do for the collective. And I also have a private Telegram channel where I share oracle readings for the group as well. So I want to invite you to really come in and support in that way if you feel that is something that calls you. And if you want to join, I want to invite you to go onto the bloominglotushealing.com/cosmic light activation. And then you can join there, or you can just go to the bloominglotushealing.com and then go into services, and there's a drop down and you can just find that there. So I'm super excited and elated to have this available now. So, well, enough about this stuff. Y'all know that I'm excited. I'm so excited. Oh, one last thing. If you still want to join the Beloved Method Beginners class, you still have till tomorrow to join. So make sure that you join before the 18th. The class is going to start next week, starting the 26th of August, all the way to September 30th. If you still want to join, you still have to the 18th, and you have an amazing code that will give you 22% off, and that code is Beloved. So don't miss that class because it's going to be amazing. Okay, so enough about that. I just kind of want to bring our beautiful soul sister that is coming in today, and I kind of wanted to tell you a little bit about her. So Theon she is the founder. The way I met her was through Evolve Me. She's the founder of Evolve Me, which is a community platform that she has been working on for a while now, where she wants to gather people of all practices and really help foster that community, not only for practitioners but also for people who want to learn and explore these abilities, that these psychic abilities that are present for all of us. So Theon is a gifted intuitive medium, remote viewer, and she's a healing channel whose masterful communication skills, pure drive to help, and innate ability to connect intensely with others has been her effectual psychic as well as teacher of others who are working on developing their talent. So the best way that I can describe Theon is a bright, beautiful, joyful light that wants to share and wants to learn and wants others to explore as well. So we're going to be talking about remote viewing today. This is something that I am I felt separated from this idea for the longest time. I thought that I wasn't able to do this, and I attended a couple of her classes, and she basically showed me that it is possible, that everyone can actually remote view. And if you're someone who's interested in remote viewing, or maybe you're feeling the same way that I have, where it's like, oh my gosh, like I cannot do this, then you definitely want to stay and watch this video. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring in my beautiful Theon into the stream here.
Yay.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Yes, that what a beautiful welcome that was, actually. Yeah, I'm very excited today.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for you, and for you saying yes to this conversation, because well, first of all, I know how passionate you are about this, and I know how in depth you've been, really investing your time, energy, into really developing the skill and learning more and more about it, and being involved with so much in these communities of remote viewing. And that, and your excitement got me excited, right? Like I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, right? And so you were the one that actually you suggested that movie, which I ended up watching, by the way. And I was like, wow, this is so fascinating. Remote viewing was something that that's been used by the CIA. And then it just kind of like, it just blew my mind at the fact that this is a psychic ability that people can tap into, and people were actually being trained on this, and it's been used for, like practical things, like real
Psychic
practical things.
spying. Yeah,
Yeah, like the
initially.
psychic spying and all that. And so, but it's incredible to me because we don't think about that, right? We don't really, like I didn't, I lived my entire life not knowing about this until I met you, and then now I know. I was introduced to remote viewing a couple years ago. I in the sense that someone was mentioning on their social media platform that they were remote viewing, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. What is that, right? But it felt kind of like almost like, oh, only she can do it, right? Like that's how it felt, right?
Right.
And so but anyway, but before we get there, I just kind of wanted you to I guess share with us a little bit about you. How do you get started in this journey? Like I just want to know about how you got started in this journey of remote viewing. Like tell
Oh
me
my
the
gosh.
deets, girl.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you know me, I am what you call a perpetual student. I love all things spirituality, and remote viewing just kind of naturally came in. I was actually in the international. Oh my gosh, there's so many internationals that I'm going to talk about today. The International School for Clairvoyance, and where Deborah Lynn Katz, she's the director there. I was taking a few of her classes, and she offered remote viewing. Lo and behold, she is not just offering remote viewing, she is like really deep into the remote viewing society, because there's a huge society, and I'll talk about that too in a little bit. And she's also the president of the International Remote Viewing Association, so IRVA. And so she's one of those teachers that which I hope to aspire to be, is like makes everything fun. So what I knew from remote viewing was very similar to what you were saying, and it seemed so boring and very technical. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this. And I just found a passion for it. I started class after class, and it evolved from there. And it does it goes with what I was already learning in my clairvoyant training, as well as my mediumship training. So you're really tapping in to just that conscious network, right? The subconscious. You're projecting yourself over to a site or to a person to be able to view it. And it's a little bit difficult because typical clairvoyants or mediums have a hard time transitioning over to it, because it uses both sides of your brain, rather than just opening up and allowing spirit to just channel through. You're actually, also in your analytical side of your brain. So it does mess with you a little bit in the beginning. But I find that actually people that really have some understanding of clairvoyance have an easier time doing remote viewing because you're not expecting certain things. But yeah, and it's funny is I can I teach people in matter of minutes, and they're like, oh, okay, that's it.
Oh,
So it
wow.
is
Yeah.
actually pretty easy, right? And if I just kind of explain to you, what you're looking at, you're just trying to get impressions of like either the site or the location or person, things like that. Yeah.
That's incredible. And, and it's so interesting to me what, that you're mentioning the whole thing about, not being able to, having to be in both, right? Like, and then kind of like, trying to be and exist in both. And that you're right. Like, I remember when I took, and I, unfortunately I couldn't take all of the class. I really wanted to be there in each class because I find it so fascinating. Because the experience, at least for me personally, and everyone's going to have a different experience, right, when they're remote viewing, was that it was very it's almost like you're receiving the messages in the way that the information in the way that your brain can receive it. Like, everyone, I guess, is going to, but if you receive the same information, it's just going to be like in the way that your brain receives it or whatever. So I just thought it was very interesting. And then even in the class, there were a couple of people that were that are good at clairvoyance, and like Maurice, for example, and Nikki as well. 'Cause
Yes.
and then kind of like being guided to go. I remember Nikki going over the map. She was guided to go over the map and everything, and I thought that was very cool to that she was guided in that way to kind of find something. So anyway, so that connection, I just think it's fascinating in the way it does. But you know what?
Yeah.
One thing that I wanted to say too is that the thing that really got me really interested in this is the fact that remote viewing it has very
Oh,
practical applications. So tell
yes.
us a little bit about this, because I know that you've been exploring a lot of that right now,
Yes.
which is with
Uh,
the I'm not going to say much. I'm going to let you say it, but I know you've been exploring that. So tell us a little bit about the practical aspects of this modality.
Oh, good. Yeah. Are you talking about that massive email I was talking, I was
Yes,
telling you
yes,
about? Yes.
yeah.
Well, okay. So, it does, I found that, as I was taking these classes, I had family members, that had, lost their dog, or my husband had a problem at work. And I was like, oh, I'll just help you with this. And it was so practical. And I like, I always say it's, you can help solve like missing persons cases, things like that, all the way down to where are my missing keys.
Yeah, I
So
love
it is.
that.
It's incredible what you can do with remote viewing, and because you're getting real information, you're getting factual information about locations, physical features of a person. Remote viewing has now taken me to psychic detective work. So I'm working with Pam Cordonado, who is an amazing and intuitive, has been doing this 26 years, and is actually on the show Sensing Murder.
Mm.
Like back in the early 2000s. And it was, I remember watching it and being like, this is amazing how these intuitives can tell you exactly about the perpetrator, the missing person, where they are, every detail down to the feeling of the victim, and things like that. I thought to myself, I could never do that. I'm an empath. It would be
Right.
like horrible to have to go into that experience. But what I found was there's something for me, I'm not speaking for everyone, but for me, something just clicks where I shut that down until
Mm.
until the end, until I actually know that that's really what happened. And then I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, I can, I've been working with her for a while now. And, she started, now that I'm in her advanced group, she's starting to give us, her real life cases, like her active cases, to help work on. So it's incredible, and you're helping people. It's funny that she mentions too, and you think, well, what departments, like what departments in law enforcement would actually really want to work with psychic? Maybe it's rare. She said in her 26 years, she hasn't met a department that doesn't work with an intuitive.
Wow.
And it's incredible.
Wow, that's incredible.
And they don't really advertise it. They wouldn't. And my job is not to solve the case. It is to help give them, where to go, and specific points. So one thing you have to know, it's not about glory. It's about helping, aiding
Yes.
the people that are missing their family members, as well as law enforcement, to get answers. So sometimes in the tough part about that is sometimes you don't get the feedback that you want, and
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And but that's okay, as long as you've helped the case move along.
Right.
So I being evidential medium and intuitive, sometimes it's hard to not know if what I did was correct, but that's part of where I'm at. I definitely think this is to serve the greater good for people, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this. And the key ingredient here, which I really love that you brought that up, is to be of service, right? Like I think that, when we enter as practitioners, regardless of what path, what path you're taking, right? Of expression of your gifts, it could be
Yeah.
remote viewing, it could be, Akashic readings, it could be, tarot reading, whatever that is, right? For anyone. There is this essence of wanting to be of service, right? And so
Right.
always staying grounded in that energy, I feel that that's what keeps us going, right? Like that's what keeps us doing that work. And so and I love what you're saying. It's not about, feeling grand or like this big, oh, I'm better or bigger or whatever. It's just more about just, doing something for the greater good of society, of humanity. And how beautiful that is, that that I mean, it is sad that, this is to, people, that this is the situation, right? That having to solve a case of a missing person, it is a sad thing, but it's also such a beautiful thing at the same time, because you're helping those family members, right? Find
Get closure.
resolution, like a completion of this open case, right? And
Yeah.
so that is such a powerful space to be, and such a beautiful, loving thing to do.
Yeah.
And so so thank you so much for sharing that, and for doing this, and for exploring this beautiful aspect of your gifts. That's just
Yeah.
incredible, and it makes me want to do it myself. I'm like, okay, now, like,
I
okay,
know.
Theon, like, let's do this.
I know.
And
Right.
so, no, seriously. And
Yeah.
I'm like shocked at the fact. I mean, I know that you said that they don't advertise it, right? But I'm shocked at the
Yeah.
fact that you're saying that that they don't really, that everyone, basically every single one of
Oh
them
yeah,
are using a psychic.
Pam,
Yeah.
yeah, and Pam works with FBI, CIA, all these different
Wow.
larger groups. I mean, she's done some of the most high profile cases that you would never even know she did, and which is great. I mean, if you know me, I've always been about service, and I'm not about typically the limelight kind of
Yes.
person. I just
Yeah.
like to watch things grow. This is why I do intuitive development, and I give readings and things like that, because I'm trying to help people. It's not I'm not trying to be famous with it. I was given this ability, and now I need to pass it forward.
Yeah, and I love
So
that.
yeah.
That's one of the aspects I love about you. And that's the reason why I just wanted to bring you in here, because the energy matches. Your energy matches with mine in many ways.
I love you.
And so I love you too. And so one thing I wanted to mention too here is, being able to use this, this modality for something as practical as missing keys, right? And, simple into, missing person or solving it, helping solve a case, helping, law enforcement. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the history behind how this got introduced? Tell me, I know you're like ready.
I'm like,
Tell us a little bit about
okay.
remote viewing. Like, teach us, dear teacher. Yeah, like teach us a little bit about this, and so that people know, like, where does it come from, and like what, how did it even come into being used in the CIA and the FBI and law enforcement and all this?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, in the 70s, there was a spy in Russia that, basically told, one of the CIA agents that Russia was using psychics to spy on them. So, the US being who we are, we're like, we're not going to have that. We're going to create our own unit. So they sought out a he was a spiritualist, but also paranormal, or not paranormal, parapsychologist by the name of Ingo Swann. And Russell Targ. These are the two main founders, as well as Paul Smith and all of these military, captains and things like that. They came together to create the Stargate program, and that was basically psychic spying, which eventually they called it remote viewing. It was easier to say, but and it sounded better.
Yeah.
But and so these are very stern kind of military men that Ingo Swann was actually the one that really developed the way remote viewing. It's called CRV, and that's controlled remote viewing, where you're given a task. Originally it was coordinate remote viewing, where they would give coordinates, and they realized that it didn't really work. Because then if you go to a location, they give you coordinates to a location, and sometimes other things are happening in the location, or at the time the maps were not completely accurate, so they would get wrong information. So it's then Ingo Swann had created it to where it was about the tasker, the person that was giving the task, their intention. So you're in, so you create a number that associates with this intention. So if I want to give you a task in remote viewing, and I want to say, my dog Anna, I will give her number 6274, and that is I'm associating with Anna. And what you, as the remote viewer, are going to do is connect with my intention that way, and view the space in actual time, or sometimes past, present, or future. You can remote view. You basically can remote view anything. I've even gone into a cell phone.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Inside the cell phone and everything?
Yes.
And
I'm like, know where the wire or whatever. Yeah, the wires are and things like that. Very strange. But yeah, as long as the intention is there, you can connect with it, because it's all consciousness. So anyway, so long story short, with remote viewing, it's now widely become huge with a lot of different aspects. Just like I mentioned, psychic detective work, solving mysteries, missing persons, helping, obviously, the government spy on other countries. Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing about it is that I believe it was in the few years, 20 years maybe later, they shut down the whole operation. Or that's what they told people. But there's many that say the Stargate program is still in existence. And, obviously they don't want to say that they're using intuitives to spy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's become its own culture. In fact, I just came back from Sci-Fest, which was all of the remote viewers. Many of the founding members. Ingo Swan unfortunately passed away, but we had Paul Smith, Lynn Buchanan, all of them. It was like, I'm getting chills just talking about them. It was like, and they were just goofy, just like me, like nerding out the whole weekend about remote viewing, and like yeah, it was incredible, the experience and all the things that we were doing with remote viewing. We were also working with it was IRVA that put it on with the Monroe Institute. So it was just an amazing experience altogether. And if you guys it's every year. So Jikara, you got to come with me next year.
Yeah,
It was
I
fun.
know. I didn't even know. Yeah, I'll have to go with you next year. Yeah, I'd
Oh
love to.
yeah. Yeah. And we do all these experiments. They called outbounder experiments, where people will go out to some location, and we'd all, like, hundreds of us would be remote viewing where they were.
Yeah, wow,
All of
that's
those things. It was
amazing.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And that's why I was saying, at the beginning, like, you are definitely deep into it, so much so that you just went to that expo where everyone was there, and kind of
Yeah.
just coming together and nerding out about this, because it's such a incredible tool. One of the things that I kind of wanted just really zero into is the fact that they're, like, anyone can actually remote you. And can you tell us a little
Yes.
bit about that? Because I know for me personally, I felt that that was like something that only very special people do. And that's just the way it is. And of course, it does take practice, right? It's a practice that you continue to evolve in. Like everything, I think, like everything takes practice. It's a skill. But tell us a little bit about that, because for those who are watching now, maybe, or on the replay, maybe they're like, oh yeah, it's all good and everything, but I can't do this. So what would you
Yeah.
tell someone who may feel that that they can't do it?
Oh, okay. Well, I first tell you that my husband, who's a 30-year engineer in technology, if I can teach him in 5 minutes, I'm sure I can teach anybody else. I have no doubt that anybody else. We all know, hopefully, you all know that you're all intuitive. We're all born with this ability. We just have to learn to tap into it. So it's really just about intention. So when you're tapping into your intuitive ability, it's the same thing. It's usually about impressions. It starts out with impressions. So if I say, um, uh, if I show you this number, what is the first image or impression that comes up? 99 times out of 100, they get some aspect of it that is accurate. And
Mm.
so it's like, and just remember, there's like infinite things that something could be. But I find that people tend to connect with it, with things, especially when somebody's giving it an intention, very easily. I do have some items that with me right now that I want to, for all the listeners, if they want to, try this practice, it's very simple. I'm going to give you this number, right? And the number, I'm going to associate it with a specific object. And so this object, I will have in my head, that will be my intention. And you'll just put on basic descriptor words, no nouns. Like you can't say, it's a phone, or it's a bottle of water. Instead of a phone, it would be a rectangle. Feels like, electronics. Has a flat, smooth surface, screen, something like that. That's how you would describe it. Because in remote viewing, you're not just popping into a place. You're not just seeing the thing that I'm pointing out. your mind has a tendency to fill in the blanks, right? It'll want to. So if I see that as a phone, it could very well be a laptop, or a computer screen or something rectangle. So when you break it down, this is what the technical part of remote viewing is. When you break it down from its most basic, adjective, then you tend to see different things. So it'll start popping up. So we're not going to do a sometimes 10-page session. We're just going to do basic impressions, and you'll see how easy that once you break down something is. So if, let's say, you see a tree, well, you can just say brown, has a cylinder, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that with green around it, something like that. Like, and then see what you actually, how you connected to that, to that target. That's what we call it, as a target. Yeah. And that's really basically the only front loading that I would give you is just that number, and that number and what it is, like an object, person, something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm so excited. So let us know in the comments if you are wanting to participate on this. And I'd love to see. And Arlene is asking a question. She's coming in and she's asking, so basically connecting with a higher mind. That's what remote viewing is, right?
Yeah, your higher self, your higher consciousness, tapping into that. I always call it, the web of consciousness. So we're all connected through this web, and I call it source or God, or, so you're connecting through that, through that. How I see it is like a web.
Yeah, a web of information. Yeah. And then so that's so exciting. And then hi Chastity, so happy you're here. She says that she wants to participate and she's saying hello. That is so exciting. So definitely we'll definitely then do the exercise together. It's really fun. And I think if you want to participate, you want to make sure that you get a piece of paper, right? Piece of paper.
Yes.
And
pen.
and a pen or or something to write on. And then yeah, we have some people here that are saying that they're ready to try. So Real Truth is here saying, Arlene is saying that she would love to try. So yeah, so that y'all get to see, and and one thing, you'll get to receive the magic of this beautiful queen goddess Theon. Like, she is such an amazing supportive teacher. I tell y'all, like, I enjoyed so much her intuitive circles. And I kind of wanted to mention too, that for those of you who are getting to know her first, I was mentioning earlier that she's the founder of Evolve Me. And if you want to participate in more things like this, she has, I believe, a intuitive circle going at evolveme.com. You can find her there. And then you can also find Evolve Me at all socials: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Everything is at Evolve Me. So you can just go there and if you wanted to connect deeper with her, just kind of wanted to let you know. And yes, Theon is her real name.
I know. I know. And let me just tell you, I'm the youngest of 5, and they all have like normal names like Nicole and John. And then there's Theon. Yeah, my father was into Greek mythology. I know.
I love it though. I love it. And so, yeah. And so I'm so grateful. And so for those of you who have been here for a while, you know that I've talked about Evolve Me. And then she is the founder. She's the actual person that started this project of Evolve Me. So it's a really great place to connect with, personally, with people that are, creating circles that are helping you connect to these parts of you that are real. And kind of like what Theon was saying earlier, everyone can tap into this part of themselves, because we all have psychic gifts. It's just that, we may have been programmed to believe that we're not, but the reality is that we all are. And we're shifting our paradigm towards really one of the things that Spirit has been showing me over and over again is that, and the reason why I continue to bring people that are teaching you guys stuff and different things, and I continue to bring people to teach you, is because I want to invite you to tap into these parts of you, because that's the new earth. The new earth is where we are all connecting to our gifts, and we're connecting to each other through our heart space, through the energetics, and we're going beyond the words and the mind, and we're going into the energetics of each other. So that is the new way. It's just that it's going to take us a while, but that's the new way. That's how we get to understand, how to bring more harmony in our relationships, more harmony with each other, harmony with the planet. It's by tapping into these energies. So that's the reason why this is such an important and pivotal time for us to bring this forth for everyone.
Absolutely.
So with that said, I just kind of wanted to say that so hi Marvita, Arlene is saying, Chastity, Real Truth, Anna is saying that she wants to try. Okay, so we got this, we got you. We're gonna get started. So I'll let you take over, Theon. The floor is yours.
Yay. Okay, wonderful. So, I'm just going to give you some of the basics. I kind of said before, I'm going to call out a number, and I'm going to associate, personally, this is what I'm going to do, associate it with this one of my specific objects. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to, basically imprint on it. You're going to write down the number. And this is my technique. So you write down the number, just on the top of the page, and then just touch it, hold on to it, like feel it. For me, I physically, or not physically, I imagine that number is sitting out right in front of me. And then I just kind of connect with it. Sometimes I actually go into the number, and then just whatever impressions come up. You don't have to judge it. You just, even if it's the strangest thing that you ever can imagine, just write it down. But break it down into its most basic adjective. So describing words like, round, cylinder, square, whatever, impressions. One big thing in remote viewing is that we sketch. So even sketch, what you think you see. Even if it is a cell phone or a bottle of water. I always use those as my examples, because I never use them as remote viewing items. So, and then draw exactly what you see, everything. And just see what comes up. And it's just right now, no pressure. It's going to be fun. And you'll get you'll get to see how intuitive you really are. I also suggest you say colors, feelings you get when you see it. There's a emotional impact. Like, how do you feel when you see it? Does it make you feel like scared or happy or something like that? Put that down as one of your adjectives. But then on the other side, and I could explain this more, but it might not be great optics for today. But on the other side, we call it AOLs, and that's analytic overlay. So nouns, things that that is definitely a tree, something like that. Then just write it down, just so that you can let it go. It's more about letting it go. But sometimes you'll see that some of these AOLs actually tend to be what it is. So, but I didn't want to put that in your head too much, because a lot of times it's not. So no pressure on that. Just, if you can't get something out of your head, put it on the AOL side and don't worry about it. How long can I give them?
Oh, I mean, we're open. I mean, typically we go until we're complete. So you tell me how long you need, and then we can make it happen. I mean, I want to make sure that you give them ample time. So whatever you feel is best.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'll give them 10 minutes, and it just quick impressions and what you get from the number or whatever. And then we'll just kind of, everybody will put in what they have, and then I will show the item.
Yeah.
How about
I'm
that?
so excited. So do you recommend us to be like somewhere where it's quiet, maybe like, where we are not too
Yes.
distracted?
Yes.
I don't know if maybe you have any maybe because it's so last minute and we're inviting them right now. But any recommendations that would help them?
Oh yeah. So I was gonna do just a quick, just kind of clearing your space. So
Okay.
we're all just gonna sit together. You can even turn off the view or whatever. I don't know if that works your way, but even sit away from the computer. Sometimes just be in a comfortable position. I think that's really, and try, and don't get distracted by anything that you see around you. So as long as you're in a place that's quiet, you should be fine. So, just everybody kind of get into a comfortable position and just notice the space around you, and just feel your body. If there's any tension, any movement besides your breath, and just let it go. And then if you know how to build a grounding cord, we're going to just build a grounding cord from your first chakra, which is at the base of your spine. And just imagine that cord just goes down into the earth, past all of the layers, and then just builds roots right at the core of the earth. And this connects you with the earth, keeps you grounded. And just focus on your breath. Just a gentle awareness of each breath in and each breath out. And just imagine that all the energy, all the air that you breathe in is loving, connected, empowered energy. And every breath out, you're releasing all that does not serve you. And just notice the aura around you. Notice that it's 3 feet all around you, like a bubble. And just know that it's protected, safe, and you're in your own space within this bubble. And now just focus your attention to the center of your forehead, where your third eye is. And just tap your forehead. And notice that you can see your fingertips through this view. This is going to help you focus your attention, focus your visuals. And now that you're in this space, just you, connected to source, connected to the earth, as a channel for this information, you're going to write down this number, 831-256. 831-256. And this number is associated with an object that is now in my hands. Imagine that you see this object. Imagine that you're holding it instead of me. Slide your fingers around it. Feel if there's any ridges. Feel if it's heavy in your hands? Can you fit it in your hands? What feeling do you get when you view this object? What colors do you see? Are you able to sketch it? Is there a design? And just imagine that number associated with this object is right out in front of you. And just connect with it or go inside it and see what you see. And just describe it in the most detail you can. Does it have a smell? What material is it made of, if any? Does it look dull? Is it shiny? And keep going back to that number. And when you get your impressions, try to go as deep as you can, using all of your senses. And just keep going for another few more minutes. And for anybody that's joining us, we're doing a remote viewing exercise. And I'm going to give everybody one more minute. Okay. So come back into the space. And I can't wait to see what everybody got.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments what you got, and don't worry if you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I saw, or maybe it didn't make sense. Don't worry about it. Just put it in the comments, because you'll be surprised.
Yeah, I know. I think that's what happened to you when you first did it. And you're like, oh, this is really weird. And then it like made sense.
Yeah. And and I was like, what is going on here? And but that meditation, by the way, that was so relaxing. Thank you for that. I didn't want to get out of it. I was like, can we continue, please?
I know. I was getting kind of into it. No.
So thank you for that. But yeah, let us know in the comments, what did you get? Maybe what the scriptures did you get? So can I show you what I got?
Yes.
So it's kind of hard to. So I kept getting this visual of something curved.
Oh, okay.
In many different ways. Like it was showing me, in like, at first showed me like a banana, and then it showed me a chain, and then it showed me like like a chain, and then like kind of like a it kept showing me I don't know, like not like a like a chain that you would wear like on your like like up here. So anyway, so I kept getting, for whatever reason, the curve was something that kept showing up for me. And so anyway, at first though, I have to say, so can I just say, it was just like my mind wanted to go somewhere. Like I was like, no, it's this. Like my mind wanted to like say the entire thing at once. So the first thing that came up with was crystal. So like a crystal. And then I was like, okay. So like I was trying to push that away, because I was like, okay, well, let me just connect to this place. So anyway, that's what showed up for me. And then I got the first impression that I got was cold. Like what, like when you were saying, like to the, like, how does it feel to the touch, like that, it felt cold. And then I got a bunch of colors, which, I mean, I don't know how accurate this is. So first I got white, but then I got black, but then I got green, and then I got blue. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna say it because whatever.
Giving me chills.
I was like, and then I, the curved came up so much. Like I was like, okay, well, but it came up in different, like the visuals were different, but so I just decided just to draw it, because that was the constant that was coming up, regardless of the actual, how do I say this? Like item, if that makes sense. Like it showed up, the curve was showing up over and over. And I was like, okay, you're trying to show me a curve. I get it. So that's what I did. And then I
want to tell you so badly.
And then, but enough about me. So people are coming in with stuff. So,
Oh, good. Yay.
okay. So because I was kind of sharing mine while people were getting, okay. Some people were saying, Angelina, Konaha says, so she said a knife, and then she said the taste. I guess she was able to connect to the taste. So she was saying metal. Someone was saying, Annis is saying she got a tennis ball. And then Chastity said dull green, hollow, rubbery, bouncy, grippy, and round. Real Truth says Rubik's Cube. And then a happy face. And then Arlene said number 7, object beautiful porcelain mug. And then Marvetta saying, I got light, cold, round, metal, silver, shiny. And then Real Truth I got the first number 8. She got first the number 8. That's what she's saying. And then Angelina saying, yeah, also silver, shiny metal, and seen as a knife or sharp object. Someone also mentioned that they saw a feather, which that makes sense. A feather, right? It's curved. So we're kind of all getting a little bit, because I did get silver too, which is interesting. Everyone is getting, I did get silver as well. Okay. And then T Bill says, I've never done remote viewing in this way. And my feeling are faint, low confidence. I got woody, dark, 6 or 7 inches long, wider in the middle. That's what T Bill said. Wow. Okay. So
oh my gosh. I know. I was just going to say, are you guys sure that you've never done this before? Because so it's metal. It's a Tiffany lamp. You said fruit, banana. You said at one point, the curved shape. Oh, yeah, the curved shape, like right here. You see, and it's curved. There's metal. It's glass. It's shiny. It's cold. It's bigger in the middle or in the bottom, right? I mean, I can't even remember half of what you all said, but the round ball. Somebody said something about the round ball. There's like a round. I don't know if you could see that. Yeah. I mean, it's just. Do you see how amazing you all are? Yeah. This is a natural ability that we all have, and you guys nailed it. Right. So I don't want any of you saying that you're not intuitive ever. Yeah, but,
that's incredible. Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable. And like the sharp, I mean, it is sharp on this edge. So I was thinking that actually, this is kind of sharp. I don't want to rub my fingers around it, because I was doing that so that you guys can kind of feel. But yeah, I mean, when I first did this, I was like, I should have gotten the whole thing, but it's not really about that. When you're describing, let's say you're doing it for a client, there are things that maybe you don't necessarily know. I remember doing a remote viewing session where these new robots that look like animals, and they look almost like dinosaurs, but they were like robots that dance. And I've never seen it before. So my brain wanted to call it, what I thought was like, I was at a museum and they were the dinosaurs. Right. And I was like, but then I just described them, and it made sense, because I was like, well, then why are dinosaurs have electronic stuff in them? So I just kept writing, and in that sense, if I'm giving that to a client, they'll know what I'm talking about more so than I do. So you're viewing the target or the area, the person, but it's only really for the client to know, if that makes sense.
I'm like so shocked right now. Can I read you the rest of mine?
I know.
Can I read you the rest of mine?
I was gonna cry.
I'm like so shocked right now. I'm like, and then someone said Rubik's Cube, and then I saw all those colors.
That's right.
Yeah, it looks like a Rubik's Cube.
Hello. Yes,
it does.
I know.
That's incredible. Oh my God. So I got called white, which you do have the color white there. Black, which I mean, I guess that would say black.
Yes, it is black.
Yeah, that is black. I got green. I don't know. There's a little bit of green there. I got rough. In a way, it is kind of rough to the touch. It's not smooth.
Right.
I got blue, and then I got long. I don't know what long would be there, but
These
uh,
lines, long
I
lines.
guess the lines are long. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got hanging. That would be hanging on. That's like something that you would hang on your. So that
Yes.
makes. I got hanging. I got silver. I got
Nice.
dangles. So I guess dangles. I don't know if you want
Yeah,
what
when
are
you put it
dangles.
on a little lamp, I have a little lamp for it, and
Okay, so
yeah, it dangles.
okay, and then curved. Of course, I kept getting the curved, and I guess because I kept getting the curves of the. Now I'm seeing the curves there. Yeah, those curves I'm
Yeah.
seeing. That's what I was seeing, but I was just being
Yeah.
shown the curves in this form of a chain, in the form of a banana. you know,
Yes,
they just kind of
chain.
wanted to
It
show
does
me
look
the
like a
curves.
chain. Yeah, the way that
Yeah,
it's like structured.
yeah,
Exactly. So had you done like a 10-page thing, this would have been broken down and you probably would get this right off the bat. Like, or
yeah,
not right off the bat, but within that session. Because you just keep breaking down the information that you get. And this is, more for if you're doing it, let's say for the CIA or for like a missing persons thing. Like, and it's interesting, missing persons or like crime scenes stuff. You first get your first impression and then you go to the scene, then you get more impressions from the energy of the scene. So it's always a layered process, but your initial impressions are really what guides the whole thing. And you all just nailed it. Like,
yeah.
I could have gone even further into those, or you could have gone even further into those impressions that you got, and you would have gotten so much more. So, like, it was just amazing. Honestly, I wasn't sure. And you guys really had some amazing hits. So,
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm like
yeah.
so and then again, remember y'all, you saw what you saw in your mind, kind of like how I was mentioning the banana and the chain, right? You
Right.
saw what you saw in your mind. Just because you didn't see exactly the object doesn't mean that you didn't get the information. You did. It's just
You
that
did.
your mind is sharing with you in the way that you would understand, how to describe it, right? So like that's really what
Right.
it is. And so
Yeah.
that's so please know that each one of you, based on what I'm seeing here, where people got light, cold, round, metal, silver, shiny. I mean, my gosh, I mean, you hit everything.
I know. If
I
I were to describe this to somebody that couldn't see it, I would say all of those things.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
right.
And then some people got the numbers too. So I'm kind of curious to know how many go on the round. How many little pieces are around on the top?
Let's see.
I'm just curious.
7, 8, 8.
8. Some people got 8. So
Yeah.
one person said, "Oh, I got 8," and then they did 7, but the first number they got was 8. So you were right in the first number that you got. So trust that first impression.
Yes.
Trust that first impression that you get, because of that. So y'all, I cannot express to you, the importance for you to, if you're interested in this, if this actually excites you, then you definitely want to connect with Theon on evolveme.com. And she does have different activities there to teach you. That's one of the things that I love about this community that she's building, is that it's really a community to build people up to their gifts, to help you feel more confident, to help you feel more aware of that you can do this. Like, this is not just a special thing for just one person. And yeah, of course, sometimes we go to others to seek support. Absolutely. I'm not saying,
Yeah.
absolutely. I go to others as well to seek
Yeah.
support, even
I
as
have a
someone that
spiritual
does.
life coach. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like we have, we do seek support, but why not step into that internal space where you can actually, dive deeper into all of these gifts and see where you can put this into practice in your everyday life.
Yes.
And so someone says that they also brushed away the idea of 8 too, but look at that. So then, but that number was coming up for a reason. Now we know that number 8 was the you know
Yes.
um was the top part, and maybe you probably would have gotten other numbers, because as it brings, because I
Goes
think it's
further
probably
down.
more at the bottom, so you probably would have gotten even more numbers afterwards. And
Yeah.
so so like it's incredible. So definitely do consider Theon's classes. I think it's just so exciting. And I love it. I love it so much. And I always get so giddy when we
Me too. Me too. You know, I like sometimes I'll watch like even crime shows. One that it like drives me crazy is unsolved mysteries, because nobody ever solves them. But I'll never get to know whether that was true or not, whatever I'm seeing. But I like to even do that, you know, with a family member. You always want to ask permission when you're viewing somebody's space. So but like I'll do it with a family member just because it's fun, you know. And I was telling you, I helped my cousin who her dog went missing, and they couldn't find her. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I could feel the dog panting, and you know, and because it's hot, she lives in Nevada. And I was like, she's, you know, getting dehydrated, but I see her walking past gas stations, and then she goes into this one area that's shaped like a U, and it's like one bit, like it's a building, it's a commercial building, but there are people there that look like they kind of live there, and then there's this big red pole with this other sign, and she goes, oh my God. And she takes a picture. It's exactly the location where her dog was found. I go, but you better hurry, because they like your dog, and they might keep him. And so she ran over there and thankfully got her dog. They gave him back. But
thank God.
yeah,
I'm
see
so
how
grateful
practical that is.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And yeah, so someone is asking, there's a couple questions coming through. Of course, everyone is in excitement. And I knew y'all would get excited. I just knew it. I was so excited about this. And
boring old remote viewing.
Yeah. It's and so y'all, if y'all want to, you know, connect with Theon again, you know, you can do this. I do see someone asking about the practice reading for a group today. Is that Pacific time? I think that's Eastern time, right? Your timings. The group. I think you have like a group practice today. Someone was mentioning that on I guess on Evolve Me.
Oh, I have a group practice today. No, not today. I don't think today. I have a mentorship thing tonight, but that's it.
Yeah, maybe that's what she was talking. She said, "Can I sign up for Theon's practice reading group for today?" Is it
yeah.
so I think real truth, the timings I believe are Eastern.
Yes.
I don't know if you if you're PST, you might want to convert that into Eastern time. If you're in California or that area, or you know, Pacific time, you want to convert that into Eastern time.
Yeah, and you can always email me if you have any questions. You can always email me at Theon, THEON, @evolveme.com. Super simple.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can definitely email me, and then we can definitely work that out.
It says 4 to 5 today. So you have something at 4 today?
I think I have an opening at 4 to 5 today. So
okay, so that's probably what she meant.
Yeah. Okay.
So then definitely. So at 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern time. You want to think, you know, make sure that you know that. Okay, and then the other thing that someone was asking, which I think it's a very good question, because I was also struggling with this at the beginning, because I was like, crystal, and I was like, okay, leave me alone, you know. It was like,
crystal.
you know, the mind was like, yeah, it definitely was, but you know, like I wanted to like, okay, let's move on from this.
Yes. Right.
So someone's asking here, Chastity's asking, she loved the meditation and her mind told her green ball immediately, and she couldn't stop thinking about that. How does she quiet her mind? So do you have any suggestions or anything that can help people, especially because I was also having like those intrusive thoughts that were you know, it's difficult at the beginning. Yeah.
It so is. I'm actually doing a case right now that is, I keep going back to something and I'm fighting it. But really what you do is you take some breaks. In a typical session, you would take a break if it's like keeps coming back. You put it on the AOL side. Remember, I was telling you, put it on the right side. All of your adjectives are going to be on the left, but everything that you see, but then you just want to discard and move on. You do that. You can actually imagine it sitting right in front of you, shoot it out of your space and explode it. But just calm, and then ask for. So again, remember, it's all about intention. So, ask different questions. Show me a different aspect of this target, right? Show me a different aspect, or show me show me the most important aspect, and then just clear. And then just, how when people say like, open yourself up to something, it's not just sitting there blank. You're literally feeling yourself opened, for that information. So, go into it, clear your space, and just imagine like either, any kind of energy. It could be even a waterfall, just coming into your space, clearing your space, and going out. And once your space is clear, then look at that number again, bring back that number, go back into it, and see what happens. It's all different techniques, but the thing is that I used to do is panic, because I'm like, well, why can't I get it out? And then I get mad, and now I'm out of the space.
Yeah.
So you're just like, okay, just like in meditation, you see the thought and you just let it drift off. You're like, okay, I like, that was really strong. Unless it has more information, then just ask, is there more information that I need to know about this green ball? You know what I mean? And then look deeper, squeeze it, smell it, hold it, throw it against the wall. I've done that. Like, imagine you threw it against the wall. What does it do? Does it shatter? Does it bounce back at you? Those kinds of things. Like, you'll be surprised if you just open yourself up to receiving the information, instead of, like, there's a difference. Like, when you're receiving information, when somebody throws a picture right in front of you and you didn't expect it, right? It's almost like a hit. And that's why they call them hits, I guess. Or that you're trying to get the information. What is it? What is it? What is it? When I'm trying to get something, I know that's your imagination comes up, and then or your mind will, want to help you and say, oh no, it's this. So, you'll feel the difference. Just feel it subtly. Where like I said, if you're receiving information, it's coming at you, and it's sometimes a surprise. And then, versus when you're trying to create it, it's almost like you're painting it, you're making it happen. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. And it's so exciting to me, to to be able to see that there's, that we all struggle with the same things, and that we can find a way, right? Like, we can find a way out of it. And so I was struggling with the same thing, Chastity. So just so you know, but I did what she mentioned at the beginning with the AOL, because to write it down on the right side of the page. So that's what I did, and that kind of helped actually, because it was almost like I wanted to stay there. So it needs to be like removed in a way, and a good way to remove things from the mind is to write them down. I know it sounds strange. For some people it might sound like, oh, it's not real, but trust me, when you start practicing that, things like journaling, you'll notice that writing things down and putting them, because they want, it's almost like it wants to stay it's almost like a reminder, like, I don't want you to forget, I don't want you to forget. So once you write it down, it's almost like, oh, okay, now I'm somewhere permanent where I can exist. That's what I feel these thoughts are. It's like they just want, they're there permanent, because they want to exist somewhere. So like, why not just put them on a piece of paper? So like, that's what I did, and that helped me kind of like, okay. And then once I did that, I told my mind, okay, let's go back. And what I did too to help me, I kept going back to the number. I kept looking at the number and touching the number. So I kept doing that as well, to kind of like, okay, let me reset. And that also helped me as well. So maybe, I don't know.
No, that I continuously do that. I will reset it, clear my space, put the number back in, connect with it again. And even when I write, the AOLs, the analytic overlay on the other side, the right side, I actually physically move my attention and my body to the left side of the page, where I'm getting the impressions, right? So you you discard it there, and then you move forward on the left, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. And one thing I wanted to mention too, what do you do? Because I know for me, it's like I get a little like antsy. It's like, oh my God, am I going to get this right? The perfectionist comes out. Do you have any suggestions for that?
Yeah, get out of your own head, because
Yeah.
that's tough. I used to do that too. I know that sometimes when I really want to get something. I had a really good session recently, and I like, oh, I want to do the same thing. That comes in. But you just have to clear your space and clear any prior thoughts to it. Just try to just calm yourself and go back into that state of receiving and not worrying. Like, I always, in a sense, tell myself, well, it doesn't matter. It really just doesn't matter. And for some reason, when I say it doesn't matter, what's the worst that's going to happen? I get it wrong.
Right.
So give, be easy on yourself. It's okay. You're just here to receive, like, take yourself the ownership out of it. Like, oh, it's okay. I'm just going to, I'm going to feel the, or receive the message of what it is. For me, I just start trusting. I've kind of learned now. I know what, what a real hit is. Like, I will almost hear it in, like, I'll hear it, see it, and feel it. So I'm like, oh,
Wow.
the impression gets really, like, it's like I'm watching a 4D movie. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's what that is. And it comes to you almost like a slap in the face. I don't like to get slapped, but it does work. So yeah, just it's about practice and tuning yourself into this practice, right? Like anything else, it's you have to do it more often, and then you'll start noticing how you are with it, and how
Yes.
these things come in, because it's not the same as your intuitive ability. It's similar because I do normally see things and hear things and whatever, but it's different because I'm also working with this brain that wants to tell me other things.
Right.
you
Exactly.
know right? So you have to learn the balance between those two.
Between both of those.
Yeah.
And then we have a question from Real Truth that I feel that that could be maybe a common question for a lot of people. She is wondering about a privacy issue. Can anyone remote view their private life? I've never thought about that, but is that
um
something that is possible? And
well,
um,
yeah. Well, like anything else, I mean, intuitive ability, anything, there is a law. You don't you ask permission first, right? Obviously the CIA didn't really ask some
yeah,
permission because that's part of their program. But for me, and for most, I would say, every remote viewer that I've ever met and every intuitive that I've ever met, we live by a code of conduct. And of course, just like anything else, you have people coming and intruding your space. There are people out there like that. But I don't know how intuitive they are. You know what I mean? Like, and if they do, I don't know. I mean, again, for the most part, it is about a code of conduct. I wouldn't view your space. I wouldn't read you. I wouldn't do any of those things unless you've given me permission.
right.
So yeah, and it's what I call it, like the bounce back law. And like whatever happened, whatever they do will bounce back to them. So I try to live by that with myself. I wouldn't want anybody in my space. So
And I think there's also the other aspect of, if you're not giving consent, there's really not much that they can access. Because I can tell you right now
yes.
that when I have connected with certain people where they're even given consent, but their higher self is not giving consent, I don't see anything.
Right.
And if their higher self is not giving consent, then I can't see. So
Yeah.
your higher self is also helping you in that journey of
Yeah.
protecting yourself.
Yeah.
So with that said, I think that that would be something that I wouldn't worry too much about, because if you put that intention into the ether that I do not give consent, then
Right.
there's almost like that wall, right, of protection
Yeah.
that you're setting
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely. And one thing I do is I put up really strong protections. You're just like anything else, it's about your intention. My protections are like a coat of armor that deflects. Or is actually is unseen by what does not serve me. So just as a practice for your own energy, so you don't soak in too much of other people's energy, I would,
Yes.
create a practice that feels best for you, that empowers you. That's the most important. I don't tell you exactly. I'll tell you what I do, but I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, because it has to feel powerful for you. And however that feeling is, put that on yourself every day, and you'll feel much more secure with whatever situation or energies that come to your space.
Thank you for that, Theon. Thank you so much for spending time with us today and just sharing this
Yeah.
like joyful, and exciting part of this journey of yours. Because I mean, like I mentioned earlier, when I was reading your bio to everyone here, Theon is a very gifted psychic. She does many things, but the remote viewing is definitely something that I feel is the excitement, like that brings so much joy. Everything brings you joy, but I feel like that brings you so much joy.
I'm
um
always joyful.
yeah, exactly. And I'm just so grateful that you shared this, because I think, you know just so that everyone could see here in this practice today, you got to see firsthand how you are able to tap into this source consciousness, because we're all connected to it, we're all interconnected to it. And so
Yeah.
we're moving into this beautiful space of understanding that we have this connection, and that we're able to that it's not just special people that do this. Like, you are the special people as well.
Yes.
um
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has this ability, and everybody, and that's one of my biggest things to, even when I do readings, I'm like, you could do this too. And I always try to give a practice, because we all have to know this. This is why I called it Evolve Me, because I want people to know that this is an evolution of self. This is not some trick. This is not, a way to, like scam people. This is really who we are. This is who we are. This is who we were born to be. So tapping in it doesn't mean that you have to be a psychic reader. It means that you could maybe find your keys, maybe
yeah.
help somebody out. That you use it just like your other abilities, just like your other senses. This is how we evolve into that like new earth, like you were saying. This is how we evolve as humans, is tapping into that, because wouldn't life be so much better when you can feel it more, when you can
Yeah.
understand it more? And it's the basis for all people's empowerment. That's, it just makes sense.
I'm so grateful. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. And if you didn't get the chance to participate on the remote viewing exercise that Theon had us do, then I highly recommend that you go over to evolveme.com and join her group, her intuitive development group there, and dive into it. You can also email her at theon@evolveme.com, or you can also connect, to all of the socials. She's on YouTube, she's on Instagram, she's on TikTok, all of these at Evolve Me. And so
Yes,
she is the
only at
founder
Evolve
of
Me.
this.
I never do like I have a personal, but I never use it.
Yeah. So it's all
Yeah.
Evolve Me, at Evolve Me. So make sure that you go to Evolve Me and definitely connect deeper with her. And there's other practitioners too, if you wanted to that are offering different things. But
Amazing.
if you really enjoyed this, then you definitely want to reach out to Theon, and because she's the remote viewer queen at Evolve Me.
Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely. I love it. I just want to say one more thing. So maybe
Okay.
when you said banana, do you think it was this purse? or
Oh
anybody
my
else, if
God,
you got an
yes.
impression.
Because
That
I
was my
kept,
next one. That was the next thing I
okay.
was going to do, but I just want to
Yeah.
make
Okay,
people
that
feel
makes sense
better.
because I didn't get gold, but I did get
Silver.
curved. I got silver,
See?
and but I got dangles. It dangles.
Yes.
So
And
that
but there's
makes sense.
silver,
And
and
there's
then
silver, and then the dangles. Yes.
so you
Yes.
probably got
Wow.
a mixture of both. Which probably was not a good idea that I put them together.
So maybe
Again,
that's what it was. Yeah. Okay.
yes, and
Because I kept getting that curve. Okay.
and I was thinking, oh my God, when you first started saying it, and I was like, oh, I wish usually I'll put my objects far away so I can go back and get it, but I didn't have time. So just in
So I was
case.
tapping into both. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And I was so confused because I was like, I was getting all these colors.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's so many colors. Okay, I'm just gonna put them down. I was just trusting. I was like, but I was like, I don't even know. Like all these colors are coming up. And so then when you showed it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's incredible. Chastity saying she loved and this was amazing. Yeah. So I'm so happy that
Thank you
everyone
so
enjoyed
much.
it. And so, well, so I want to thank you all for, for being here, for participating. And please do share this video with someone that you feel you might help maybe drop into that sense of confidence, and tell them to watch it without moving forward. Just tell them to watch it and then practice the remote viewing practice and see, to see if they get it. I think that will be really fun to see what they get, and maybe you can get together and talk about what your findings were, and relish in the beauty of the fact that you are psychic.
Yes, absolutely. And I
um,
think I'm going to actually start a remote viewing circle too. So coming up here in September.
oh
So
yeah,
definitely
I'm
check
definitely
that out.
there. I'm there. I am so there, girl.
Yay. Maybe
I
we
am
can
so
solve
there.
crimes together, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's make it
Yeah.
happen. Yeah, I would love
Yes.
that actually. So
Me
yeah,
too.
I think that would be incredible if you started the circle. I think a lot of people here after today what might do it. And let me know in the comments if you want me to bring Theon back, if you enjoyed this connection. Please let me know in the comments so that I can, convince her to come back
No convincing.
and show us maybe something else, something fun to practice together. And so, well, I'm gonna end the session here. But before we end, I just kind of wanted to ask y'all to make sure that you share and like this video. Make sure that you subscribe if this is your first time and you haven't subscribed yet. And I also wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who is part of this channel. I am so grateful for each one of you, especially those who are part of the Cosmic Light membership. You are basically keeping this channel going. Please do join if you want to support this channel. I am fully doing everything on my own. I don't have any companies or anyone, just
She's just
supporting this.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and it's a lot of work, and I'm happy but to do it. But I'd like to do more things, such as going to different events and things to show you different things. I'd love to add that to the channel. And for that, we do need financial support for that. So if you want to support in that way, please do consider joining the Cosmic Light Activation membership. You get a monthly Akashic clearings and weekly oracle guidance. Plus, there are special perks that I'm adding. I'm finally able to offer discounts on my website, so I am offering discounts, special one-on-one session discounts for those who are part of the Cosmic Light Activation. So you're gonna have so many like perks just by being part of that. Like, so I'm just throwing all the love back at you,
You're
y'all.
just amazing. Look at
Yeah,
you.
so I just want y'all to join the family,
Yes.
because this is what we're doing. We're building a community. Why not
Yes.
come in and join this beautiful, like-minded community where you get to receive healing and also feel supported in your journey. So do go to the bloominglotushealing.com/ cosmic-light-activation. I'm trying to keep up with that.
It's just
And
amazing. Yeah.
thank you. And then one last thing I wanted to mention too is that I do have the Beloved Method class still open. You can still sign up until tomorrow, the 18th. There is a 22% off code Beloved. You can sign up. You will get to learn how to use the pendulum and also how to navigate specialized charts that will help you clear energies between you and your loved ones. And please do consider joining this class. This is going to be a beginner's class where there's going to be a lot of information thrown at you. We're going to have a lot of practical, homework. However, you will get certified. I especially certify each one of you. But you got to make sure that you submit the homework at the end. So as long as you submit the homework and you do this and you practice, then you will get certified, and you'll be able to go into the advanced class where you will learn how to do this for others if you're interested in doing this for others. But just for yourself, it's just so powerful. I'm going to gather some of my students that have had really amazing shifts in their consciousness and in their relationships as well, and how they have been able to move away from really just difficult situations into a more open hearted space. So it's a really incredible tool for you to just have for yourself. So please do consider joining the class. If not now, this is the last beginner's class I have for this year. Then the next beginner's class is going to be next year, because I'm going to be focusing on the advanced class for the students that are waiting for the advanced class. So that enough about that. I'm done promoting all this stuff. I know there's so much conversation here, but I want to thank you all again. I want to thank you, Theon, for just being here, being an amazing
I'm hugging
soul.
you.
I'm so grateful. I'm sending you a hug. I cannot wait to see you in person one day and just give you a real hug, because I know it's gonna happen. And
yes.
and yes,
when you go to that thing, yes, I'm gonna come visit. Yes.
Okay, please do. I'd love that. And okay. So so I love you all. And now I am ending this with so much love, so much gratitude to you, and namaste. Bye.